So basically, I was thinking, discussing anarchism. I was thinking in the terms of should we really go to schools and to listen to our teachers when 90% of the stuff we learn at school isn't actually useful in our everyday work, or should we trust politicians when they only think about power, or should we trust our bosses, or should we rather manage ourselves while doing our work, making money?
Soundtrack The Wall of Pink Floyd.
Something like that.
Okay, we have your point. Motivation, Marta.
I will not be standing because my legs will shake.
So I will go down.
I'm also. It was very just an impulse, just a thought. For me, motivation is a kind of important topic. Yeah. So I would like to know how you motivate yourself in whatever you are doing, yeah, or whatever is your goals. Because for me, the motivation and goal is actually one in kind of a one topic. So that is basically it is. I would like to discuss the different ways of finding this creativity and motivate ourselves to do what we want, what we sometimes don't want to do. That's all.
Monogamy, Ruggero.
That's
No,
interesting.
Yeah, I don't even know where to take it, to be honest. That's why I put the topic. Because, I mean, I was thinking, when I said monogamy, I was thinking about, is it... Okay, so I start from the assumption that it's not related to love. And my question is, like, do you think that it is a social construction, or is it like a form of repression? Do you believe in it? It's very vague. I mean, I don't have probably a personal opinion, so that's why I choose the topic. And that's it, many ideas that connect to each other, and yeah, I'd like to discuss it in further details.
And now we have Letting Go, Lisa.
In Letting Go, I recently read an article about Tina Chodron, I don't know how to say her name, Buddhist monk, Buddhist nun. And she's written a lot of books, and I've read some about letting go and surrendering. And I wondered if that's always the best task, maybe the motivation. When is acceptance too passive, or how do you get anything done if you're just letting things go? Maybe like even desire, because you can't really, in the Buddhist tradition, you have to develop a non-attachment attitude. But if you don't want something, then how are you going to do anything? So it's kind of confused in my head right now.
Free speech, Marshall.
Oh yeah, this is the topic about the recent events in France, and I was thinking, what is the limit of humor, or what is the limit of free speech, or is there any limit?
To kill or not to kill?
Yeah, just because is this now the intimidation working, that we cannot use our free speech so obviously like before, or maybe we should tell whatever we think, or we should just tolerate other I don't know if tolerate is the right word, maybe to take care of other feelings, and apply some kind of self-censorship, or is this a bad idea to apply this self-censorship and just tell everything to the world what we think and what we feel, regardless how the other might feel? This is just the topic. Or what are the boundaries of free speech? Yeah.
Boundaries of free speech. Je suis Charlie contre je suis Koulibaly. To drink or not to drink.
There are different circumstances in our life, and sometimes you got to drink just to support the company, or you drink to relax. Do you actually need it, or you don't need it, or you can live without it? So maybe you're free in your spiritual life and you don't need any alcohol just to motivate you to do anything. So it's actually difficult choice for the person. So, and in the different ages, different attitudes. So for youngsters, it's kind of to be in a group and you have to drink. And for adults, it's absolutely different drinks, and you know the flavor, you know the taste, and you know you kind of enjoy it. So it's a kind of different, and it's difficult to decide. So, but the major reason, do you really need it or you don't need it? You can live without it. So yeah, I agree. A bottle of good, a glass of good wine. It's enjoyable. I love it. But after 2-3 bottles, all the wines are the same. I can agree with that, but there are some other issues that we can discuss.
Yeah, please don't start discussing now. Because 1 yes, 2 yes, but okay, afterward we will be doing exactly, we will have a part exactly dedicated to this. So now we have to understand why each of those topics are interesting for us. And now we have goals, smart ones.
Yeah, I was thinking like if actually like pointing out goals, whatever it's our work or life, it does matter. I mean, if for example Lisa is a goal maker, yeah, and I'm learning from her because previously my life was like completely without goals. Yeah, so I'm like, and it in one way it helps me, yeah. And to cleaning my mind, like to make this way to some goal. But sometimes I have this temptation, like to live without any goals. Yeah? So I would like to know what you think about this, and if you pointing out goals in your lives and how it works with you.
Well, but saying as that you're going to her is like they will have to judge her job here. Okay. Dog's life, Yuri.
Donna was discussing the life of dog, actually, yeah. But what about people who live like dogs, who live there, not easy, but straight life, just going to work, come back home, watching TV, the next morning going to work. Is it acceptable? Is it enough for people? And why some people can live like that, but another not?
to be a dog or not to be a dog.
Something like that.
Okay, now we will try to shake a little bit the situation. So I will call every topic and somebody else will have to tell us why it can be interesting. So for example, starting with nostalgia, somebody that is not eager will have to defend it. So raise your hands for the people that want to defend it. Do we have just one?
I just have an opinion on it, not necessarily.
Just a moment. Raise everybody your hand if you want to defend nostalgia.
As a topic for discussion, right?
Defend means to support.
Yeah.
Yeah, to support it. Yeah.
To support. If we want.
Yeah, if you raise your hand, it means yes, I think this one is interesting, I would like to discuss it too, and I will tell you why. Okay? Okay, just you, so go with it.
Well, actually, about 20 years ago, I came up with this term, pre-nostalgia, where I would miss something before it was actually in the past. And it was my way of paying attention. So this view that I'm saying now, I want to burn it into my memory because I know I'm going to go somewhere else and think about it. So I call that pre-nostalgia. So I don't know how that pertains to either way, because missing. I've moved around a lot, so.
Just takes time, just experience.
Was she always in one place before she started?
Yeah.
I think that's much harder because
Yes. There's rules.
There's and her points of reference are all this one's different. Points of reference are kind of scattered.
Different places for you.
So I'm not sure if that really addresses, how a debate is structured, but
Okay.
I don't know how you defend nostalgia.
I can say I'm interested to discuss this too. Because in some way it's strange feeling nostalgia. People name it it's feeling, but in my opinion it can be not nostalgia, but some people just can adapt to another state, to another people, language, country, but some people just can't. Just they try to live somewhere a couple of years and they don't find themselves and they just come back. It's not like one different feeling one.
Yeah, but now we really have to
Okay,
stop doing that.
Yeah.
Normally, if one person has to speak, it must be just one person. This is a very important part of the philosophical cafe, to be able to listen to the others in silence and try to understand what this guy is saying, okay? Because in normal life, we always listen to answer, okay? And that stops us from deeply comprehending what we are in front of. So I would like you to enjoy even this function of the philosophical cafe. So you told us why you want to discuss nostalgia. It's okay, and now let's find out somebody that wants to discuss evil, somebody that is not matching. So I think you have to pick up this girl because you have just heard. So normally, if we have 3 or 4 people, the master of the topic will just pick up one. But in this case, yeah. Afterwards, we will have more time. Little by little, everybody will speak. Don't you worry. Well, everybody that wants to speak. Of course, if somebody don't want to speak, he will not be forced.
Well, I find it very interesting because, for example, I wrote my master's degree about totalitarianism, practically about the Third Reich.
About what?
Third Reich. Yeah. So I was always wondering if the evil was inside of the Nazis or was it given to them somehow? I don't know, and I still didn't got any answer. So.
I would have raised my hand, but I'm already.
Yeah, then stop. Should we trust our leaders or authority? Raise your hand if you want to say something about it. So, Conrad, it's up to you to pick up one of those two.
Okay, so I guess you're that's good.
When you started to explain the topic, I was a bit disappointed in the first instance because you said something about anarchy. And I didn't really want to discuss whether we should remove all kind of leadership or government. But what I'd like to discuss would be to what degree we can expect something from government, from leaders, whether their behavior will be somehow predictable to us. I mean, this can also be in a negative way, like if we expect all leaders to be corrupt, it will change, I think, our view on politics and our own political behavior.
Okay, no, sorry, motivation, Marta. Who wants to discuss motivation? Feel free to raise your hand. Come on, somebody has to help motivation.
Maybe you Guido.
I can't. I really would like, but I
I
can't.
understand that. That's fine.
Well, then if nobody goes with it, I will. We can discuss about motivation, for example, because it's not sure that we have to be motivated. I mean, let's read a book by Charles Bukowski. He wasn't exactly motivated. He had a really strong endurance, if you want, but he wasn't exactly motivated in doing something or something else. He was just running away, okay? Just walking on a path, but not really being motivated. The motivational behavior is something relatively new, if you want, and we never had it in old Europe until I don't know when. I mean, knights weren't motivated, they were committed, not motivated. It was another thing. So do we have to take this idea of motivation or not? I don't know. We can discuss about it if we will pick this one up. Monogamy, Ruggero. Who wants to discuss about monogamy? But everybody but Ruggero. Raise your hands. We have one, and nobody else wants to discuss monogamy. So, Igor.
So monogamy, I think there are 2 points in this issue. Female point of view and male point of view. And our group is kind of 50-50, so we can share these points and see from both sides. So it's kind of interesting. So I got my own point of view. So I don't think I would say it right now, but if we proceed, we can do that.
If you can say it briefly, it could be interesting.
I think that men are never monogam people, and women are vice versa. So that's my point. Why and so on and so on, I will tell you.
Okay, looks like it's going to be a fight with somebody. We're going to have this one. Letting Go by Lisa. So somebody that is not Lisa defending Let It Go. No, sorry, Letting Go, not Let It Go. Was wrong. My mistake. We have Igor once again, and no, the song is Let It Be.
Let it go.
Let It Go? Okay, too modern to me, I'm old. Yeah, you're right. So, Letting Go. We have Igor and nobody likes to let go.
Letting go, that's one of the ways how I handle some of my problems. So I just let them go. Just don't concentrate on them. Just let things happen as they happen, and that helped me. So I came to that half a year ago. So I've been trying to force a lot of issues, and it didn't help. Someday I just understand it. What I mean? Just let it go as it goes, and it happens the way it should happen. And I don't know why. Maybe somewhere the universe helps me to do that or whatever. So, but it's very easy, and it's that helps me. And I wanna share it. I wanna know how the other people do that and how it helps to them. So that's why it's interesting to me.
Free speech. Who's interested in free speech? We have a lot of people, Masha. You have a right choice. It's 4. Pick 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, so
Pick up 1.
Who did
5. Oh, I said you the new guy.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Because he didn't
Can
say.
you present yourself?
I was invited for a friend, but he's not here.
Still, you're welcome.
I am Manuel. What do you want to know?
From?
Canary Islands, but I live in Rosa.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you.
Maybe he
So,
missed the first
why would
part.
you like to speak about free speech?
Oh, I am interested in hear what you say about free speech.
Maybe he missed the first part. I'm not sure.
No, I hear
Yeah?
you.
Are you here? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but now you will have to tell us why you are interested in that.
No, because it's trendy topic in this after Charlie Hebdo and all this. Know if must be limit or not. In my opinion, not.
No, it must be no limit.
No limit. There is two positions in a juridical way. With the humor you want to be offensive, can be a penalty. But you must have an interpretation that what is offensive. Then is not the man who makes the humor. If is or only for joke, can't be a penalty. It is a kind of innocent. But some people can feel that is offensive and have been attacked. In my opinion, we can't accept limit to the free speech. But you have the market and you can buy or not buy, consume or not this product, but no limit. Another problem is the capacity of the state for guarantee this no limit speech. Because if you live in a place where the state is not able for guarantee your life, then at the end yourself make the role of censor because you don't want to die.
Mm. This is the question.
But the idea is that, in my opinion, must have no limit.
Thank you very much. And to drink or not to drink, somebody who is not Igor, because we already know everything about Igor's attitude about drink or not to drink.
Thank you.
Who wants to discuss about drink or not to drink? Ruggero?
Ruggero. Yeah.
Dai, prova.
No, I mean it's a choice. I think there is not much. I mean, I don't want to be, I want to measure the words, but like it's it is relevant. Like you can live your life without drinking, and I think you should. I personally think I shouldn't be drinking, but I drink, and I don't know. I'd like just to say that the answer is no. I shouldn't. And yeah, not much else. But yes, I mean, if this is just a simple question, my answer is no. I should never drink a sip of alcohol in my entire life.
Okay, somebody that is not Marta, about goals. Who wants to discuss about goals?
I would defend it.
We have one and soul. So go ahead.
Okay, this is interesting because it appears important the question goals or no goals. Do we need goals? Because maybe life is already beautiful in itself. So then we would not need any goals because life is, you can understand life as a goal in itself. And then what kind of goals do you need, and how much goal can you have? Because how far can you plan in your life at all? Is this feasible? Planning so far ahead, and can you achieve the goals, or is the life so funny that it brings you something completely different than you thought at the beginning? So it's an interesting topic, I would say, to discuss. How much goal do you need?
Like to vote on that topic as well.
Yeah, but the vote will be afterwards. So
Defend. You mean
I
defend?
mean defend. Okay.
we have still another one, and that is dog's life. To bark or not to bark? Sorry, it's Shakespearean. And somebody that is not Yuri have to defend it. Has to defend it. Don't you want to discuss about bark or not bark?
I'm thinking, okay, I can, but actually I would like to discuss with Yuri why he used this metaphor. I mean, why he thinks that people who are having these ordinary lives, yeah, are, from where is this, that you call them like the dog's life, yeah, because my dog doesn't have such a simple life, actually. She has a lot of fun and really great owners, yeah, but it's more for me interesting, and that's why I would like to discuss. I mean, what makes you to, what put you into this metaphor, yeah, like that somebody's people's lives are dog's life. And when you started, I thought that you think about homeless people, yeah, because usually if we thinking about humans and in connection like animals' life, yeah, it's homeless people, and you call actually not homeless people like having a dog's life. Yeah? So that's it's interesting for me, and I would like let's discuss it. That's all.
Okay. So now, as we still have a little time, we will do a very mean game. Somebody that doesn't want to discuss about nostalgia and why. Somebody that thinks that, come on, nostalgia is not that important to discuss about.
But we vote later, no?
Yeah, afterward we will still vote. So
okay.
For the moment, it's just trying to prove how much can be really interesting a topic or not. Because of course, before to vote, we have to understand those topics. Otherwise, we're voting on nothing.
Okay.
You, why don't you want to discuss about nostalgia?
Because it's, for me, so fully individual. Yeah, because first we need to start from the definition of nostalgia. It's probably for each of us it would be a little slightly different. Yeah, because for me nostalgia is simply missing something. For somebody else it would be like to be confused, and then that's why somebody is confused. So many factors is connected with this topic. That's why I wouldn't like to talk about it.
Okay, evil. Who doesn't want to discuss about evil? You can even do it yourself. It's like, I changed my mind. In fact, such an idiot topic.
I was evil.
It's good topic, I think. I will put my topic forward.
Okay, but we need somebody against evil. We need some kind of Van Helsing now.
Everyone is for evil. Yes.
I'll say a couple few words. So I think it's a very good topic to be discussed. But
We don't have enough time to discuss this.
Wait.
We will fight at the end if we discuss this issue because it's too serious and it might attach different different feelings, different approaches, and religion, and so on and so on. So it's not worth to touch it.
That's what makes it interesting.
You
No,
already
my
defended.
point is not, we don't have enough time to discuss it. We are not going to come to the conclusion because of that.
Should we trust our leaders and authorities or not? Why it can not be interesting?
Because I would get extremely pissed off. It's gonna get very political, which is gonna be a little bit outside what you are kind of doing. I know you can relate to anything, but I really wouldn't like to look into politics.
Spies are everywhere.
And who doesn't want to discuss about motivation? Okay, before I was the one to defend motivation because nobody wanted to defend it, so I expect everybody wanted to attack it.
I'm not motivated to discuss it.
Boring.
Nobody wants to discuss.
Here's one.
You.
I guess everyone have their own motivation or no motivation, so it will be more like discussion. I will talk about my motivation and you will talk about your motivation and then. So it's not be a discussion, just a couple monologues about motivation.
Who doesn't want to discuss about monogamy? I was expecting like old girls.
Oh, I have opinions.
in monogamy.
Such a cool topic, isn't it?
So monogamy is interesting for anyone.
Everyone discuss about
Okay. Then I will go against, and we don't have to discuss about monogamy because the Holy God told us that is the right path. Fuck you all! Letting go. Who doesn't want to discuss about letting go?
I forgot already what was it.
Letting go. Who thinks that is a dumb topic?
Yeah, but what was the what
Of
was
course,
the
no
topic again?
topic can be done,
Yeah,
but it's just for gaming. To go against is a way to try to understand deeper. It's always a good tool. Can always be a good tool.
It's very wide, it's very broad.
Yeah, vague.
So who, raise your hands. Who will go against?
I would go again. I would also go again.
I would go against.
Against? Okay. You never spoke, so go with it.
Because there are some situations when you cannot let it go. So it's a very subjective topic. Because, for example, in some more, let's say, medical stuff, you cannot let it go and say, okay, I have this disease, I cannot let it go, because you can save your life this way.
You can. You always can let go. It's the life choice, yeah.
Yeah, but your life is never your own life till 100% when you have some families or some responsibilities and stuff like this.
Now a very interesting.
That's all disgusting.
Yeah. Now, yeah, this against was almost showing us why we have to discuss it because it wasn't agreeing. So, still, free speech. Who thinks that it's better not to discuss about free speech?
Me again. Because in the last 2 weeks they spoke too much about this.
Did they?
Enough.
Did they? Okay.
Okay.
And they will never solve this problem.
to drink or not to drink, who doesn't want to discuss it and why.
Yeah.
Ah, we have two, so Igor, you have to pick up one.
In my opinion, it's not too many discuss about. We can. It's I in my life spoke about that many times, and it's all time we spoke about the same things about health, about prefers, about taste, and everything the same. So I don't want to enter that. You understand?
Who doesn't want to talk about goals? Goals. Who doesn't want to discuss about goals? Martha against Martha.
Yeah. It's too wild and too boring. I would like to, to go through some emotions through the discussion. Goals, it seems to me not very emotional. That's why I'm against my own topic.
It's very philosophical. I never agree with myself. Dog's life. You had something against.
Yeah,
I stopped you, so
yeah.
go with it.
No, because I was just wondering, because we focused only on the misery of dog life, but we never thought that the dog special has this kind of ability to attach without any expectations, without any proofs, just pure attachment. And this is this kind of ability that many people don't have. So we shouldn't just consider it as a bad thing, just as misery of being a dog.
Yeah. Interesting, but on the other hand, we need somebody that doesn't want to discuss the topic, and this one is mostly like, yes, we have to discuss because.
Yeah, I need to add something. She didn't allow me, so.
I'm so mean, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, and who doesn't want to discuss about dog's life?
Can we shift it to kind of dog love?
No.
That'd be more interesting. I mean, not that
You had to propose it before. Go against. Yuri against Yuri.
Yes, it's wasn't a topic actually. I just heard saying dog's life and it's okay. So
It's just a joke.
that's why it wasn't a topic.
Okay, now we are going to have we have plenty of time. We've been very fast, but in 15 minutes we will start back. Have your tea, have your stuff, and afterward we will, yes. Smokers time. Okay, and well, I'm starting a philosophical practice school here. It will be composed by 2 steps. Every step will be taking 24 hours in 6 months, and for further information, I'm around, so I'm not going to bother everyone because maybe some of you is not interested. So I'm here and I'm on Facebook if you're interested, because a lot of people ask me if I can give classes of philosophical practice. Yes, of course I can, but I never had it just for the simple fact that there's not a huge market for philosophical consulting. On the other hand, they told me, yes, but we can put it in the CV, and that will allow us to reach higher positions in corporations. And so in seeing things from this point of view, it makes sense. So I will do it. There will be a first step for private consulting and a second step for philosophical group managing. That is way tougher, at least for me, but normally for everybody. And yeah, it will be quite cheap because, of course, it will be. I will have to adapt this thing to a lot of people studying and working at the same time. So and will be quite flexible because there will be a lot of consulting and practical job that we can do one-to-one, and then some collective moment with other people studying the same stuff to consult each other and try to understand how to do it and so on. So, the vote, yes. Everybody can vote even for all topics. Feel free. Okay.
Did you say for all or for all?
You can totally vote for all topics. You can just raise your hand at the beginning and stay like that until the end of the vote. Of course, if afterward we will have 2 or 3 topics with the same number of votes, we'll vote again to pick up just one. Who's voting for nostalgia? Another thing, of course, if we pick one topic, doesn't mean that you have to avoid the others. I mean, while discussing about nostalgia, it can even happen that somebody says something about letting go. Why not?
Monogamy.
Or monogamy, yeah. Nostalgia. Who wants to discuss nostalgia? Raise your hands.
I already discussed this.
Looks like the winner is 0. We never had a 0 before, I think. Evil. 3, 4, 5, 6. 7.
Not much.
7 with Conrad. And talking about Conrad, should we trust our leaders and authority, or maybe not? Those sticky bastards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Motivation. Who wants to discuss about motivation? We had nobody for and nobody against. That was incredible. But we have a person that wants to discuss it. Still.
Motivation.
Monogamy. Who wants to discuss about monogamy? You two. Okay. 3, 4, 5. 5.
But can I vote my own topic?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So I vote my own topic.
6. Letting go. Who wants to discuss about letting go? We have 1 maybe. And Lisa is not even voting for herself. 2. She's letting go. She's not discussing philosophy, she's making it in practice. Greek, ancient Greeks call it phronesis. You know, phronesis is the opposite of wisdom. It's like philosophical, is wisdom in practice. It's like wisdom in things. Free speech. Who wants to discuss about free speech? We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow! Maciej burned down the house. To drink or not to drink? To drink or not to drink?
To drink or not to drink?
Oh, ma due mi no.
To drink or not to drink?
Who wants to discuss about to drink or not to drink? 1, 2.
I will.
I don't know, discuss those things. Goals. Who wants to discuss about goals? Goals. We got 2, 3, and
Girls.
goals. That was pretty Freudian, you know. We had 3 or 4. I'm sorry, I don't remember. It was 1. Okay, now we got 1, but I remember we had more like well, still 3 or 4 doesn't change a lot because we still got a 10 on the table. So last one is Dog's Life. Looks like a Pixar movie. A Dog's Life.
Dog's life.
Well, nobody wants to discuss about
Okay,
Dog's
can
Life.
be me.
Thank you.
Still, I think we're going to discuss about Maciej's topic, free speech. you know, Masha, is absolutely your day because the second is evil.
Oh,
so,
can I combine them?
So who wants to combine evil and free speech? Raise your hands. Who wants to keep just free speech? Now you can vote just for one of those two things because if you vote for both, it's out.
Combining it?
Yeah, let's combine it.
Okay, who wants to combine? Raise your hands. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Who doesn't want?
But how do you combine it?
It will be your business. It's your topics.
I think we can find
Not up to me.
evil in free speech.
Yeah, wait on. Who doesn't want to combine them? We have 1 and... Okay. So, Masha, you will have to combine your two topics. Evil and free speech. It's the first time we were combining two topics.
All right.
But it makes sense because it was 7, even the other one. I mean, quite tough. If you're able to, after evil, we have monogamy. So you can even try to combine free speech, evil, and monogamy.
This is new. This is new. This is good. Yeah, I would monogamy was interesting.
For free speech.
This is also evil in monogamy. Yeah, this is good.
Then, oh yeah,
do we make
how does it work for new people? He will start speaking, you will have to raise your hands, you will have the right to talk only when you will be called. You will be, I will be keeping the order of people raising their hands, so please write down what you want to say because it can happen that you will be able to speak only after 2 persons, so you will have to keep in mind everything. That's almost impossible for normal people. We have some monster really able to remember everything he wants to say when it's up to him, but normally it's better to have a mobile phone at least, or even better, a piece of paper and a pen.
And how, Guido, how about the question round? You had once some question rounds? Do you remember? We could ask a question to the topic. It was before that we asked.
Question to
yeah.
the topic.
So people could ask me
I
now
don't
the
remember
question.
because I don't always make the same thing.
Ah, okay.
So, but if
not the
you
same
remember
rule.
me this one?
Yeah, we
can
had
do it.
that people could ask me a question now because I started this topic, so people could ask me questions. What I mean by that, or why I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if this is necessary. I was only.
Such as about evil, you should say,
Yeah.
if God created evil, is it necessary?
Yeah, because a question starts a discussion, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay, guys, let's see. Who got? Well, I think that in this case it will be better if you start combining those two topics.
Combining.
Because before to combine them, it will be very difficult to give you questions.
Okay.
Afterward, maybe we can go this way.
I have the question that can combine.
Oh, sure.
Okay, then let's go with it.
Do you see any evil in free speech?
Okay, this is a good question. Okay.
Or maybe not, yeah?
Now, another thing that is very important in a philosophical cafe, you will have to be able to do a very, very difficult thing. Not to interrupt people while talking. That's normally easy only for Germans. Or maybe Chinese people. I never had one in a philosophical cafe. I don't know. Talking about people that I had in philosophical cafes. And of course it's easy even for trained people. Here we have a couple of champions of philosophical cafe and normally, well, they're able to. But without, the first time is normally difficult for anyone. So just don't be mad at me if I will stop you while you're interrupting somebody. Okay. It can happen. And
Okay.
go with it.
So my first question would be, because I want to know something. If we have somebody here who knows, has a deep knowledge of religions, or maybe Islam or something like that, or not? Because this touches this topic maybe as well, because they are so sensitive against making fun about Muhammad, obviously. So, huh?
So what is it? Freedom of speech.
Yeah, because it was the start was my start was based on these attacks in France, which were against Charlie Hebdo, obviously. So, my question was the limits or the boundaries of free speech. If you can make fun about some kind like a prophet, in this case, or you can make a fun about him, or you have to take into account that there are some feelings you can obviously inside. And you already said we should not limit ourselves because it's joking. So how can we be sure that the joke is a joke and it's not insulting somebody? Maybe the purpose of a joke is to insult somebody, exactly. Because a joke is usually laughing about somebody's weaknesses, about myself, maybe about others, about minorities, usually. So this is maybe even the purpose of a joke, to be a little bit evil even, to be a little bit like mean. So maybe this is also a purpose of a joke, to like how it was, let it go, this evil out of me. Like I can let air out of me, and I can then feel like happier because I just release the pressure, some anger out of me. I don't know, maybe something like this, and maybe this was the maybe the society needs this kind of ventile to release the pressure by laughing and by joking, and maybe by insulting others as well. I'm not sure. And yeah, okay. I think there are already many.
Yeah, for the moment I got Lisa, Manuel, and Yuri. Did I miss somebody? Yeah. Okay, then Lisa.
What I hear you saying.
What you say?
What I heard you saying is that perhaps freedom of speech should be curtailed in order to accommodate various sensibilities. But at what point do you stop? If you stop making fun of this particular entity, then you can't make fun of this one. You can't make. At what point does it come down to we're all self-censoring and nobody can say what they want, such as in Poland actually during communist times, you would be afraid to say anything that could interrupt your rations or, any criticism. Or in Stalin, Stalinist times, having a free thought could end your life. So at what point do you end accommodating, not offending somebody? And isn't it more the person who's feeling offended to respond in a way that doesn't include murder? Talking about Charlie Hebdo. So, the only coming from America where the boundary of free speech is that you cannot incite violence. So you can't yell.
Induce violence.
Right. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater if there's no fire. That's a criminal offense because you're scaring people and you're creating a situation where people could get killed. So is that, drawing these images of Muhammad, does that provoke people to violence, or shouldn't they exert some self-control and address their grievances in a less, barbaric way?
Little provocation. Sometimes I just throw a question in the middle of the conversation. If you want to take it, you take it. Otherwise, you can go straight on and ignore it. Is it maybe good irony, only auto-irony? Because it's the only one that combines at the same time the criticism and is never offensive, because it's me criticizing myself. Is it then maybe only auto-irony the good one? Just a little provocation. Going on, Manuel.
Was you first?
No.
That make.
Ah, really? Ah, sorry. Then changing.
Okay. So I just want to ask back, if it's freedom of speech, why you ask? Is it here some have some religion? If you want to say something, you can just say it, not asking about who's here have some another point of view?
Oh.
Are you
Can I ask
afraid they are trying to hit you?
Up to you.
I can understand the Macias position because there is a Muslim radical between us can kill him. Then it's better take care and ask first if he's able to speak about this. If for understand this topic, the freedom of speech, that is a most occidental value, we must understand the position of the Muslim about this. The main question is the draw. The representation of Muhammad is forbidden in Islam because they think that the representation is offensive to the message that he gives, the Quran and all this. Then the representation, just the draw is offensive. If you make more and go more far with the draw, then they can be choleric, the fanatic. The question is that if we must accept their position in Occident, because no way. For example, in Poland, the majority is Catholic. You can't make, it's not polite make joke about Johannes Paulus, because can be many people offended, or about Catholics, or for some Jews make a joke about Orthodox or Torah can be offensive. And for religious, the same review, Charlie Hebdo, has made jokes about Jews, about Muslims, about Catholics. But what I said in the first moment, that we must accept the right of the people to free speech or to make humor. If you want, you can buy or not, Charlie Hebdo. They make humor for clients, because the people that buy this kind of humor is the people normally that think the same that the people that make the caricature. Then the main thing is the right of the free speech and the capacity of the state for defend the right of the free speech. What question today we can read a news? In Tel Aviv, for example, one library, the famous one, Stematsky, say that they will not sell Charlie Hebdo. They will not sell this because some calls of Muslims, and they don't want that somebody destroy or put a bomb or make a kind of provocation. Then they themselves have said, we will not sell. It's a kind of censor. But this censor is for this situation, because if they start to sell, perhaps one crazy can with one Kalashnikov and make a disaster, then it's a problem. First, we must conserve the free speech, and the main thing is that people that is crazy must be stopped. And for this is political politics. But we can't surrender to the pressure of these people. And in my case, I am religious, and I don't like nobody joke about some topic, these topics. But I am not a consumer of this, and I must accept that people can be like they want.
Another little provocation, you have to know that I'm working with Il Male, that is the kind of version of Italian Charlie Hebdo, and I'm one of the main names. And we've been threatened after Charlie Hebdo, and I never said a single thing about Mohammed. I'm working on totally another field. I'm just making funny tales, a little bit punk trash tales. But my director, he's really the guy taking care of the political part of this newspaper. It is quite historical. It has 40 years of history, and the cover of this month is a guy with you know, ice bowl in the hat in paradise, and it says "Ceci n'est pas Mohamed." I don't know if you speak French, but this is not Mohammed. That is the.
I saw this picture.
Yeah. So it's the typical quote of Magritte, and so is up there is really just playing on this idea of representation, because it's nothing offensive, but on the other hand, probably for a Muslim it is offensive, because still is some kind of representation, even if still. Christoph.
Yeah, of course I'm all for freedom of speech, but I would like to ask the question whether we, in, let's say, the Occident or in European societies, we even have absolute free speech. For example, I read that Glenn Greenwald, maybe some of them know him, he was like a journalist who helped Edward Snowden publish his findings, let's say. He tweeted anti-Semitic caricatures after the attacks of Paris to say that sometimes societies value freedom of speech only if it's in their interest. And I mean, for example, in Charlie Hebdo, the interest might be to have a more secular society in France, to show these kind of caricatures. But of course, anti-Semitic caricatures might have a totally different motivation behind them. And for example, in Germany, it would be more or less illegal to print these things, if it's like a clear anti-Semitic message behind it. For you know the reason. No, I mean, but and also in German newspapers. I mean, I can only talk about German newspapers. There are no pictures, for example, of the policeman who got killed in France, because there was a video. You could see how he got killed, but there were no clear pictures in any of the news channels, for example. And
of the killed people.
Yeah, of the killed people and how they are killed, for example. Because there was a video on the street where the terrorists were, shooting once and then coming closer and so on, and they didn't show this.
Even in Italy, we didn't have it, just on internet.
So they're censoring it because they want to protect the person, the victim, and so on, and the viewer, of course, because you don't want the viewer to see this necessarily. So I don't think we have necessarily always absolute freedom of speech everywhere, and I think that the society defines the rules of how far freedom of speech can go. And of course, this is different in every country, but we have the problem that through the internet we have a global audience, let's say, and so there are no boundaries that is concerning this.
Claudia.
I'm just listening to you guys, and I'm thinking that maybe there's no such thing as free speech. Because every time free speech it has some boundaries. Like Lisa said, you can't just yell there's a fire in a theater where there's a fire, right? And for example, take a newspaper, and the newspaper just follow the things that people want to hear. Like the newspaper is, left or right or something like that. So they don't just write anything they want, but they just follow the stream of the, yeah.
Igor? And then, Igor. Another fast provocation. Today I'm doing a lot of them. I will stop in a while, because really normally I do maybe 2 or 3 in the whole philosophical Café. Now, does it make sense to limit internet then? Maciej?
I think Igor asked me. Yuri asked me about why religion at all. This was your question. I think you partially already answered it. So. Yeah, because it touches. I wanted to hear if there are some people who know about Islam, because maybe I just missed something in their feelings. Because almost all of the people who were like devoted like religious. They were against these pictures of in this newspaper. They were saying it was beyond the limits of free speech. It was like crossed the limits. So I was not sure what the real point is, because I don't know how it was in Poland, but I think there are some jokes also about Catholicism. Yeah, exactly. I know in Germany there are many jokes about Catholicism and many also about the Pope. So this is allowed, obviously. In Poland it was less, I think. Maybe now it is more free, but in the communist time it was not so common at all. But the reason is because I think it is good to understand the other point of view why Islam is so, how do you say, not so violent, but so touchy about this. Wrażliwie. Sensitive, yeah, sensitive against this, and maybe there's something we don't know. Yeah, okay. So maybe there's something more than only just free speech. Maybe there's something more. Maybe we just criticize not only their religion, but also the whole being of them. Because as I know, there are states which not only have religion, because they are not secular, but this is also the law in the state. So the religion is the law in the state. So if I criticize this religion, I criticize the whole state and the whole the whole lifestyle of these people. And maybe this is what they don't like. But on the other way, why should I not be allowed to criticize something like that? If I see a valid point. And humor, I think, is also a way to show something true, or a truth, because we laugh usually about something true. So this is the way why we laugh usually, because it's true. So if you wouldn't laugh about this Charlie Hebdo figures and these pictures and these jokes, then there would be no truth. But obviously there is something about these pictures why we laugh, and it must be a reason for this, and this is why it is obviously insulting, but maybe it's also giving impulses to others to think about it. Is to think about these things. But maybe I talked enough now. I'm not sure. So it's not easy to find these boundaries, I think, and the question is, because if I say okay, I don't want to offend anybody, so I would allow myself self-censorship, and obviously there is something which is in this country is more important than only the humor, or than only how we see the life here, and this is obviously like clashing now, these 2 points of view. And I think it's also important to see this in our society, how the other society functions, because maybe we don't know something which they do know, and maybe vice versa, maybe don't know, and maybe we can profit from each other. I'm not something like that.
Yeah, just one thing, because you asked for somebody that studied Islam religion, and I had. The difference is that in Christianity, the function of dispel is given to the word. You will not say the name of God if it's not to renominate God, okay? Because otherwise it's blasphemous. In Islam, the same function is given to images.
It's not fiction.
Yeah, that's not. It's not a cross.
In Christians, it's no how is to say, no pictures too. It's like after in tradition we make these pictures and statues, but in the Biblia they say no pictures, no statues of God.
That's why Protestants don't have pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way,
I say that I studied Islam, not Christianism. And
can I say one thing to the Islam?
no, Mark. Keep it in
Was
mind.
similar, like,
Yeah, very.
because I also
I will
heard
try
you
to-
say,
I will try to make it.
Just okay. Let's go with it. Just 1 second.
Okay.
I just think that I read that in the Quran it doesn't even say that you can't make a picture of Muhammad, but later they adopted this custom not to do this.
And it's not 100%, not all Muslims.
Because in the medieval ages you could make.
Okay, then if there is a discussion about it, I will have to ask you to sign down your names because this way it will be confusing. Because if it was just one note is one thing. If we have to start discussing about it, then okay, let's do it, but little by little. Yeah, still I keep your name in the list. So afterward you will be continuing this thing, or
I don't have to. I would just.
as you wish.
No, no, you don't. Have to.
Okay. Marco, then I'm sorry.
For me, I do not question our right to make jokes and this, like what we call free speech, but I agree with previous with you that actually it's not right to see to talk about free speech at all, yeah, because like Michael said, yeah, that's in German, like joking about Jews are not very welcome, and usually it's not so. For me, it's the question. I have the other question. Like, of course, we have rights to jokes, but how far actually it is? How far it's going? Because for me, what Charlie Hebdo is doing, it's not joking. Personally, of course, I know that there is probably a lot of people who are laughing at this, yeah. But such a humor for me is this very pathetic humor. It's more like we don't have to say anything really important, then we will be making this and this to put attention to us. I really think that it's maybe I'm really far from like it should be some boundaries. Like I don't think that it should be put in law. Like you can do this or laugh like this or like this. Yeah, but I personally believe and think and I hope that this kind of joking from other people will die someday, or we are all going to the times that we will be needing more and more like impulses to think, because if right now we are talking about the Charlie Hebdo by doing what they did, yeah, not how they did, because it's not what they did, but how they did, what kind of let's say device they used, yeah, because they could make this joke a little lighter, maybe, still laugh at Muhammad or Islam. Which is not the first, I believe, magazine who did this, yes, but this time somebody was killed. So my question is, maybe we should put this question: where this style of living is going, because TV, magazines, and such stuff, there is more and more from year to year or from generation to generation violence, and it seems that people are looking for this kind of stuff.